2 into Lagos for round 12 of the Freshman League. One Kit Kat and about 8 minutes into qualifying late, so you're joined once again by me, Tucson Otoe, and the lovely
X90G. Hello guys, it's me, and we're back round 12 here at Brazil, and hopefully it should be an interesting and awesome race, as Brazil often provides great racing, and one that the championship could be wrapped up in.
Yeah, certainly, Natty. So do you want to take us through our championship permutations for this race then?
So Absolute 11 currently has a 33 points gap at the top, and if he can maintain it more than 26 points going to Abu Dhabi, he will win the championship. I haven't finished exactly everything yet, but I'll get onto that some point during the race.
And indeed we have a week chock full of championship deciders then for you here over at Gavra Racing. We've got obviously today in the Freshman League, but tomorrow in the Premier Series, and X90G could wrap up the title in the Premier Series as well. We'll take you through those title permutations tomorrow. On Thursday, Play Dutch, you can also wrap up things in the Super League, which will also be held around the Interlagos circuit. As we ride off board then with Tiger Assassin down through turn 4, we can see he's invalidated his lap, but personally does do a lot of commentating around here, so we will be cheering him on as ever. Thank you to all 11 people already tuned in. Sorry about the late start, the game was being annoying, but crucial thing from here, Natty, so far is that we don't actually have a Jitsi Kev. We have instead Rick Colt, the Academy League champion, in his place. And in fact, speaking of champions, in the GT Sport Championship, the title can also be wrapped up this week in Le Mans with Playjudge, who were to outscore Tiger by about 6 points. But anyway, we're going to go back to the Freshman League action, because that's what we're here to see at the moment. Rick Colt coming through turn 2, where Ocon and Verstappen obviously had that big crash a couple of years back in the race. Currently behind the Racing Point of all cars, Red Bull and the Racing Point going through turn 2. And in fact, that's Tunturi in front of us as we head down towards turn 4. Now down to 4th gear, short shift to 5th, don't run too wide, has run too wide, and that is going to be an invalidated lap then for the Red Bull driver. Vincher, though, having a very good qualifying so far, currently finds himself up in 2nd position. Absolute 11, our championship leader now, coming through Jun Sao, better known as Glock Corners. Unfortunately, you're going to hear Tiger calling it Glock Corner a lot. That's not its real name, it's Jun Sao. Anyway, here comes Absolute then up the hill on Ayrton Senna's favourite track. It's not obviously a home track for that particular driver. Shame we don't have JMB Surreal here. I think he's quite a big Senna fan. Got yellows in sector 1. That's at the first corner, just a car getting out of the way. Absolute 11 locks up into turn 1. That's going to sacrifice line for turn 2. And another thing we've seen there, Natty, super easy to cut turn 2 here in Brazil. I think then you see a lot of drivers struggling with that during the race.
Yes, turns 1, 2 and 3 of the Senna races, they all link up into one another, and the drivers really want to push as hard as they can to get the best exit through the run down towards turn 4. So a few invalidations there. Might see a few penalties, as yeah, there's a few penalties in the race, but yeah, hopefully they keep it together in one lap sprints and quali.
In fact, I think Cash Stengel just had a bit of a spin moment down there at the final actual corner on the track, replacing Edison this week in place in that Racing Point. So if he can deliver a Nico Hulkenbergian super sub, I'm sure they'll be very happy with that in the Constructors' Championship. In fact, Cash Stengel diving back into the pits then, but RC8's on a flying lap, our closest challenger to Absolute, obviously run last time out in Japan. Let's see what in America even comes to the line now. It's 107.5, Natty, puts himself up into 2nd place at the moment. That was a very solid lap time then from RC8, especially considering that Absolute 11 hasn't actually put in a lap time yet, and he's coming through turn 3 now.
Yeah, the mid to low 107s, maybe even the high 106s is going to be an excellent time to aim for, especially for pole position. Only 3 drivers so far in the 1:07 lap time, so still waiting for some of the quicker guys, especially like Absolute and Antonio's, 2 drivers who we know can be up there at the top to set a lap. So let's wait to see what those guys can do.
Yeah, certainly. So we've got our heavy hitters out on track, and as it were, Absolute coming through the 2nd sector. I've left my camera down on him as he comes around to complete this lap now. Currently finds himself in P20. I'm sure we'll be wanting to improve that a little bit before we get into the final 5 minutes of qualifying. Up the hill does the fastest middle sector of anybody then, so takes Jinsub perfectly down to 3rd gear, short shift through 4th, all the way up the hill now, flat out through this final section. Keeps it wide here actually, Natty, trying to scrub as little speed off as possible, comes into the pits, Natty. So I think absolutely running out of fuel at the end there, and that's going to put him on the back foot in this qualifying session. We've got Williams was out very much off track, and I think our bag of breath got lost, like Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah, absolute 11. It's only got 5 minutes left. That will be enough for maybe only an out lap, a flying lap, and then an in lap. I don't know if he'll be able to get 2 flying laps, there maybe 2 consecutive flying laps. But one of those laps will have to be on a heavier fuel load. So it's going to be interesting when he decides to come up, whether he's going to leave it late and at the last minute where the track's at its quickest, or whether he's going to want to try and get a quick lap in. There are obviously quite a few corners you can go wide or extend the track limits and get your laps invalid, so he might try and play it safe, or he might try and get up quickly and get a lap in.
Yeah, as Asa Sabin now, I was just watching him, went 1,000th slower than his original best times. That's going to be a bit of a kick in the teeth for him. But shall we play a game of what would you do, Natty? What would you do if you were absolute 11 in this position at the moment?
Right, I'd probably come out with about 3 minutes to go, set myself with about 1.5 laps of fuel, or 1.5 flying laps of fuel to go out and do a lap. And if it's good enough, then fair enough, keep that lap. But if it's invalid, then on that lap, cool the tyres, save the fuel, and go out for at least another lap.
And of course, what we've been discussing here, Natty, so it is really easy to invalidate around here. So if he does take a chance and go for that one banzai lap at the end, if it is ruined, it's going to be a P20 at best for absolute 11, which should probably be the absolute worst result that he could possibly have at this moment in time. But Asa Sabba's on a very good lap then, coming through the middle sector. I don't know if he's going to abort this lap though, Natty. He only got 26% left of that juicy ERS energy as we head up the hill once again. Then with the Alfa Romeo, the cars look so quick through there. Going to have the DRS open, coming to the line now. Asa Sabo improving on his time, all the time up to the line. It's a 108.3, stays in 7th. Let's go down here to Rick Holt, who's going to come to the line next. Can he improve on his time? No, he can't. It's a 1 minute 9.9, unfortunately, for Rick Holt.
Yeah, I think we've got... Well, Rick Holt, yeah, just finished his lap.
He's starting another one, Natty, I think. Sorry about that one, Rick Holt. Let's run on board with him, actually. Our Academy League champion, currently driving the Red Bull, less than a 10th down through the first sector, but goes a bit wide, scrubs all of the speed off, and that's going to be a major disadvantage now. Down this back straight, and up into corners 5 and 6, and into 6th gear. Going to get flat on the power once again, a bit late then from the Red Bull driver, down into 2nd gear for the hairpin, and now through the very tight and twisty middle sector here into Lagos. Oh, he gets a bit of oversteer there, Natty, shifting up through the gears on the power, and that's going to sacrifice even more lap time then through the corner where Albon and Hamilton had their crash this time last season, and now up towards a final actual corner on the track. Uses all of the curb on the outside. It's a 10th up, Natty. He goes wide once again. Oh, he's got a big snap of oversteer, and surely that's lost him a bit of time, Natty. That's going to compromise his run now all the way down this straight. He's going to head to the line. He comes into the pits, and that could be the end of his qualifying.
Yeah, by the time he gets the Red Bull into the garage, I don't think he's going to have enough.
Have we lost an ex-Natty Gio? Right, anyway, so Cash Stengel then, on his lap coming through turn 7 now, down towards turn 8, has gone a bit faster in that first sector. Will it be enough to upset the front two at the moment? It says that R8 has the fastest lap time, and that is untrue. It is Rick Holt. I'm sure you can see that yourselves. We're going to come through the flat-out corner, then towards Jun South, down into 4th gear, down to 3rd gear for Cash Stengel. He's 2/10 down though now, through that middle sector, up the hill once again. GRS almost open, ERS on full. Here comes the DRS line. DRS open then to the line. In fact, Cash Stengel dives back into the pits, and that must be his qualifying session over. Tiger Assassin's gone for a 2nd lap here. He's less than a 10th down through the first sector. Now let's run on board with the Haas driver as he comes through turn 5 and up the hill towards turn 6 and 7. The double right-hander here. Let's see what kind of line he takes. Down into 6th gear. Gets on the power. Not flat. Now he's flat, and now he's going to shift down into 2nd gear before hooking up the apex. Try not to run over the curb there and get the lap time deleted then through turn 9 up towards turn 10, where Hamilton and Albon had that crash, as I just previously mentioned. Down into 2nd gear once again. And want to short shift through the gears. Gets a bit of oversteer there on the power. Rick Holt now has just come out on a lap, so he's going to need to be really quick to get around this track in time, and has just encountered traffic at turn 4. Our bag of breath has now retired from the session, so he's spun out somewhere. Tiger Assassin though is going to come around the final couple of corners then. DRS open. Let's see what he can do as he comes up to the line. Going to keep it to the left hand side, brings the car to the right hand side even, and it's going to be a 108.0, so stays in 4th position at best for the moment for Tiger Assassin.
Yeah, he's got cars behind him who are also on some flying laps. Victor's one of them. Absolute 11 still hasn't set a lap, but is just about to start one. Tonio's as well, coming through the final few corners now to finish one of his flying laps, so it's going to be interesting to see where he can put his AlphaTauri, currently in 18th, hasn't set a lap. He has the DRS wide open up to the line, and it's a 108.7.
That's going to be
11.
That is hugely disappointing then for Tonio. It's one of our drivers who has routinely been in the top 10, sorry. And going back down into absolute 11 though, Natty, who needs a good lap here for his championship in the battle against RC8 for the win here in the Freshman League. And you've got the checker flag has come out now then, so any drivers who are on a lap will be able to complete this lap, but they won't be able to start another one. So that I'm looking at the Alfa Romeo coming over the line now, and the Mercedes won't be able to start a lap. Absolute 11 though, Natty's done the fastest middle sector of anybody. Is this where he takes back pole position from his teammate? Do we see a Red Bull front row lockout here at the penultimate round in the season? Here comes absolute 11 then to the line, going to keep it to the left hand side, over the line now. It's a 107.4, and it's just not enough to beat Rick Holt, but it's enough, Natty, to put him onto the front row and crucially ahead of RCA.
Yeah, absolute 11 doing all he can in quali to try and have the best chance of winning the championship. And I know it's the end of quali, but it's a bit overcast, so that might have something to say for the race.
Antonio's now coming to the line. He's 3/10 up on his time. What's it going to be for the AlphaTauri? Puts himself into the top 10. Now qualifies his teammate once again there on a 108.2. Let's see what Dazzler can do. He's coming to the pits, in fact. So that is going to be our grid. Good to see a nice, healthy 20-car grid here, Natty, for the Brazilian Grand Prix. But as you say, it is very overcast at the moment. So did that have a bit of a bearing on the track temp as the drivers came round to finish their laps? Were they able to, get more heat in the tyres a bit faster and go a bit faster even? Or did that serve as less grip for the drivers out there on track? But anyway, that's going to be our grid then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be Rick Holt taking another pole position, Natty. Absolute 11 in second, making it another Red Bull front row lockout. RC8 in third, Cash Stengel in fourth, Tiger Assassin, who are slightly worse qualifying this week, in fifth, Vincher in sixth, GSY Bates in seventh. We're going to get the rest in a minute, but I believe Tonios was in eighth, and once again we find ourselves riding on board with Tiger Assassin, who another strong qualifying Natty. I think would have been hoping for maybe a little bit more. GSY Bates in 7th, Tonios in 8th, Ace de Sabo in 9th, and Victor in 10th. Brucey just outside of the top 10, and it's a McLaren 6th row lockout then with Hampton in 12th, Alex Gunnermack in 13th, Sabo the Mister 14th, Tunturi 15th, Dazza 16th, Triple O 17th, Infamilla 18th, Robert Codfather 19th, and our Bag of Breath, the only driver to not set a time, is down there in 20th and last position.
And well, during that quali I was able to do some championship. What Absolute needs to win the championship today, and if I think this is right, if Absolute finishes 4th or above, so if Absolute wins this race, then he's won the championship. But if he finishes 2nd, then RC8 will need to win with the fastest lap, and then if Absolute finishes any lower than, or 5th or lower, no, I've lost myself. Overall, RC8 needs to win with Absolute. If RC8 wins and Absolute finishes 3rd or lower, then the championship will go off into Abu Dhabi, I think.
Okay, so that's what we're going to have to look out for then in this race. Unfortunately, Natty, doesn't look like we're going to get our wish of some Brazilian rain. But yeah, we're going to get going here any moment now. Drivers just figuring out their strategies and making any last minute tweaks to their setup. So we're going to be able to see the strategy around here. In fact, let's talk strategy a little bit, Natty. It should be an easy one stop, but we'll have to wait and see how safety cars and penalties play into it a little bit here, and how much of a bearing that has on the outcome of this race. Has to be said though, Absolute 11 looking very good at the moment.
Yeah, strategy's an interesting one. The hards can go a fair way in the race.
In fact, it's just come up on screen there. Lap 12 to 14 and one stop for the hard tyres, and all of our drivers, I believe, out here on the soft. Let's have a look at that real quick. In fact, actually now we have a big mix of strategies here. So we've got Brizzy then, both McLarens in fact, gone for the medium. Alex Gunnermack on the hard tyres. Sabo the Mister on the medium. Tunturi has gone medium. Then Dancer, Triple O, Robert Codfather, and Al Bagbrek have stayed on the softs, but Infamella also on the medium. So we've got 5 cars there on the medium tyre, 1 on the hards, and all of a sudden we've got a big strategy mix-up so far in this race. A track where the safety car can come out quite often. Oh no, Sabbath the Mister is disconnected. Let's see if we... Oh, Tonios is disconnected as well. Have we had... Ah, yeah, I think we've had a big problem because everyone's disconnecting.
Yeah, riding on board with a few people. They've all got the X next to their name. We might be having a lobby restart.
Maybe. We've had about 5 or 6 people have disconnected. I'm sure Gav will communicate to us what we are going to be doing. I'll just pop him a quick message. I feel like everyone's just... people are joining back now, so... Alright, see if you can get a couple of invites out.
Yeah.
Alright. I have had a message from the Gavra.
Just while we're waiting for everyone to come to the line, there was a poll in the chat. Do you think Absolute will win the championship tonight? We currently have 56% people saying yes and 44 saying no, so it's a fairly close one at the minute. Can win it today. It does have a 33-point advantage at the top. If he can get that above 26, then he will win it here in Brazil.
And I believe we are going to have the race go ahead then, despite those disconnections. I think people have been able to rejoin and are back in their cars. So we are going to get underway then for 36 laps around Interlagos and here in the Freshman League. Oh, yeah, I think we are going to need it. Yeah.
Yeah, Tonio seems to have...
Yeah, the lights haven't gone on for everyone.
Or his AI hasn't done very good at parking on the line.
I think we are going to have a lobby restart here, guys. So, myself and we'll both have to. We'll be leaving the drivers on the grid then, and we'll be trying to. We'll do some a little Q&A or something else in the meantime. Just communicate to Gav what's going on. Yep, we are going to be having a race restart, so I will take this off your screens, ladies and gents. So what do people want to see before I actually do that, so don't get copyright strikes for having bad audio on. What do people want to see? Me and Natty could do something, I could do something. Do I think Bon asking, do we think Play Dutch will win the title on Friday? Well, I have to back my teammate and say that Tiger Assassin is gonna destroy everybody. So yeah, he'll definitely do it. I'm not driving the 1991. Okay, fine. Natty, you're doing it with me though.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. As long as I can go in the 1901 Ferrari.
Isn't that the 1990 Ferrari?
I don't know.
Well, I guess
I don't know what cars are in this game.
Right, I'll set up a lobby then, just do like a 3-lap race or something, I don't know.
I think they should add the cars from the 50s in this game.
Oh yeah, that would not, yeah, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's have some online, open lobby online with 1950s cars, that's what this game needs. Alright. Well, we're going to see me try to create an unranked lobby now, because it's not going to let me, is it? Right, host options, classic cars. Right, this is the boring part essentially, because now they have to watch me go through lobby settings, but you know. Yeah, it's a 1990 McLaren and Ferrari. Track select, bring it over to Brazil, and then... Alright, will it actually let me select a McLaren? Yes it will. Alright, hang on, not gonna have one shot quality, give me a minute.
50% race.
Okay, the shortest I can make it is three laps. Corner cutting. Shall we have damage off? Just because we'll make ourselves look like right mugs. How do I change the setups? Rules and flag. Car setup, there we go. Fixed. Yeah, fixed. Alright, fine. Let's go.
Do this.
Oh wait, in the that's a bit too late, Cryptech. Yeah.
Did you put it on dynamic or never know?
I forgot what year his car is. Oh. Oh, I think I've put. Oh, Fiero says, "What's your plan to win the championship tomorrow, Natty?" And you can't say take out absolute.
Telling.
You can't reveal the Ferrari master plan. We don't reveal the championship plan until the race, I think that's meant to say. Yeah, it's meant to say. Right then, Natty, shall we talk the lovely ladies and gentlemen through a one-lap race, because Tiger just sent me an invite.
Do this.
This should be fun. Shall we both go cockpit car? Oh my god, these... Oh, I've spun. Hang on. Okay, here we go.
No, I'll fly down.
Ah, thank you, Natty. Alright, so I've got 75 comments already then.
Really enjoying.
So, coming through turn 4 then, probably a bit too high a gear, didn't get the car turned in. Right, your Ferrari really pulls in a straight line.
Our Ferrari horses.
I see that V12 goodness. I'm just going to follow Natty for this lap, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Right, so coming through turn 7 then, and down through the middle sector here in Interlagos, short shifting up through the gears once again. I'm again just following Natty. I have no idea what I'm doing really. Hopefully he doesn't spin out. Oh god. And now we're coming, this is flat in modern day F1 cars, not so much in the 90s then, coming up towards Jinsao where Hamilton and Glock obviously had their famous moment. Oh wow. Wow, I think I've just broken my wheel. But anyway then, coming through the final couple of corners then, flat out this bit is at least, in the 1990s. Going to come to the line now. It's going to be a woeful lap time of a 1 minute 29.7. But yeah, I'll come back down in towards turn 1. Natty has gone to the shadow realm. Now through turn 3. Where can we go flat? Where can we go flat? Now we can go flat. Look at the massive turbo. Well, I'm not even sure if did these cars have turbos? I don't think they did. In 1988, I believe, was when it was the turbos were taken off of the cars. But something, it's like these cars have been modelled with some kind of turbocharger, because you put the power down and it's like you get a bucket ton of oversteer at about 6,000 revs, drifting it down through turn 6 and down in towards turn 7. I would give this a go actually. It's very fun. But I cannot drive these classic cars to save my life. Natty can, apparently. And now through that hairpin, where hopefully Natty won't be sending it on me like Hamilton did on Albon. And that click you heard was my brake pedal, so that's always a encouraging sign. Oh, coming down the hill now and towards the final sector. Braking once again down into third gear. Get the car turned in. And drifting on exit there. Drifting again on exit. Now up for the gears once again. I think Natty's going to be coming past us here in his Scarlet Ferrari, and round the final few corners, which even in the 90s you don't really think about, and to the line it's going to be a 1 minute 20 point something, which yeah. Right, okay. I feel like turning off setups is a bad idea.
I think they've set up a lobby.
They probably have. We should probably go over there.
Well, the two of them batted our 91 or 90s Ferrari McLaren.
Yeah, we're going wheel to wheel into 10th. Oh no! Oh, it hasn't ended. Let's end that there. All right. Anyway, so that's going to be that done. Hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Well, we're going to head over to the modern day Formula One cars now. Everyone saw that on stream. I was taken out by Natty G. But yeah, no DRS of these cars, Cryptech. yeah, it definitely was a Spinella. Right, let's go back to the modern day. I think we all need that. Well, I definitely do. Gavra Racing Classic Car League, not coming to you soon. Right, so let's hop back in here then for the race. Ah, it's only Tiger who is here, which could be an issue.
Yeah, where's everyone? Is the race over already? Did we get too carried away with our 3-lap race?
I think so, yeah. I think that 3-lap roll definitely felt like it took about an hour. If there's anyone in the chat who's also in the race, could you let us know what's going on with that? Ah, that could have happened. Well, we'll wait for Tiger to send us another invite. In the meantime, we can answer some questions or anything else you guys want to see. Absolute saying no invites yet, so yeah, I guess we're just free to do our own thing. Within reason. We're not going to be doing anything weird.
Yes.
Oh, the PlayStation group is crazy, apparently. I feel like these glitches only ever happen in the freshman league. Like, they don't happen in any other league, it feels like. Ben saying he wants a better wheel. Oh, Vinci has a fan attack. Very nice. Toddson, yeah, DRS. Yeah. These cars definitely will end up in another continent with DRS on. Mm-hmm. Cash down. Who do we think will win? Huh? I think it's a toss-up between probably the top 5, really. I think Cash Stengel could do it, RCA, or any of the top 5, really. I'll even throw Tiger in there if we get some luck in the race. I don't know, what about you, Natty?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really close between the top guys. Every week they're always often really close on track. It's going to be hard to tell who's on it. Obviously Absolute's going to be pushing for his championship. RC8's going to be pushing to keep himself in the championship. So we might see a few mistakes, maybe a few people under pressure. Or we might see, obviously the weather's going to be whatever it was in the previous race, but if that changes things potentially.
Hello, Thunder. Oh, Dad Schneider is Rick Holt's engineer, so there you go. No pressure for you, Rick, I'm sure. Jetsy's saying Ricker will win. Yeah, let's go, Bugmasters. Yeah, nice ones. Toddster in the chat is talking about need some more people. I mean, me, Natty, and Tiger would be thrilled to put on a race for you, but unfortunately, it's not the one that we were meant to put on this evening.
There we go, we've got a few people joining.
There we go, does I say that? Right, let's select the spectator role before it puts me in a car. So we should see people start to trickle in now, and we'll be able to get back to the racing any moment now. There is still a championship battle here, Thunder. Yeah, no, 37 viewers, and me and Natty are just sat here talking about stuff. Yeah, there is still a championship battle in this, so it's between Absolute 11, RC8 and Jutsi Kev. Obviously, Jutsi isn't here this week; he's being replaced by Rick Holt. So even if Rick Holt were to win the race, I don't think Jutsi will still be in the championship fight. But I believe Absolute would need to win with RC8 in third to win the championship today and not have it go to the next round in Abu Dhabi. But as I've been talking about, we'd still have the other races to go this week. Everything's around Brazil this week, apart from the GT Sport League, which is in Le Mans at the 24 Hours of Le Mans track, the Circuit de la Sarthe in France. But we're going to have our drivers hop back in here and hopefully we'll be able to get the race done in completion. Just going to wait for Tiger to set up the custom grid, and I feel like a pilot right now. Yeah, as much as Gav would like to clone himself, he can't at the moment. Why there is not been a podcast in Silence Advice? Yeah, we've been having some issues trying to get a live podcast to work, so we're just going to abandon that idea now and just record it as normal, and we'll have an update on that as soon as possible. Yeah, we were trying to do a live episode, but nothing we were trying was working, so we kind of just binned it off now and trying to just get the normal podcast flow back out to you. So that's why there hasn't been a podcast for a while. We've just been trying different things and yeah, nothing's worked. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but we are just going to have normal podcast episodes rolled out to you later on this week and then next week. And big podcast will be coming out at the end of the season. We're going to be doing a season review of, well, hopefully, maybe everything. We'll have to see how long it actually is. I mean, last time it took me 3 days to edit the podcast because our recording bot decided to go on strike. But yeah. We know the people want the podcast, Tom, so we're going to record it tomorrow and we're going to have it out to you guys hopefully by the end of this week. Jetsy, I don't believe everyone has joined yet. We're still waiting on one more driver. If I can tell you who it is, I will tell you. Rick Holt. We're waiting on Rick Holt, and then Tiger obviously needs to select his car, but it's just Rick Holt that we need. Is it Wyatt? That's what very nice tech is. Yeah, we have got a full grid today, so obviously very nice to see that we still have a full grid. Still got 36 people watching, for whatever reason. It's like the sound of our voices. Fun the same, but probably dangerous. Yeah, it might be a bit dangerous. Hopefully we don't get any early safety cars or anything like that. Still waiting on one Rick Holt. I'm going to send him a quick invite. Yeah, there will just be a PlayStation logo on the screen for a bit, just sending Rick Holt an invite, making sure he can get in, and we can get back going. There we go. So Rick Holt should have an invite now, and he should be able to join that, and we should be able to get going once again. 137 comments. That is nice to see you guys. Still got 37 of you intrigued and watching. There will be thunderstruck. Tobster saying biblical scenes. We might see some biblical scenes. Rick Holt is here, so we should be able to get ready and racing any minute now. I'm going to see our driver starts ready up here, and yeah, let's get this one ready to rock and roll. And yeah. Alright, he's going to be that one guy. He's going to be that one guy or girl.
I wonder if everyone outside the top 10 will choose to start on the same tyres that they chose before we restarted, or whether they might have seen how many of the other people would go for the alternate mediums and might try something different.
Well, I think the top 10 have to start on the same tyres that they did in the previous race. But outside the top 10, obviously they can make a different decision to what they had before, because they would have had free choice of tyre. Anyway, we are doing a custom grid, Tobster. I don't know if you can see in the. I would point at it on the screen, but I don't want to smack my TV off the wall. But
It's
we
there.
do. It is there. It is a custom grid, so I think Tiger's just setting that up before we get racing again. Because obviously, if we don't have all of the cars, then we can't do the custom grid. So yeah, I'm sure that's just what Tiger is sorting out for us at the moment. Any more questions? Just keep them rolling in, and we'll be able to answer those and hopefully get back racing soon. Oh, we've got a. Oh no, Red Hot is still here. F Holtini. F Holtini, is that right? Yeah, he is here and racing, so we'll be able to get back to racing as well. We've got a couple of connection problems. Just bobbing here to the lobby music. Just having a look in the rules in terms of the tyre compounds that the drivers have to start on. That's the claim staff level penalty. Yeah, so to answer your question, Pierre, although sometimes it's everyone has to start on the same tyres, on the website it says that only the top 10 have to start on the same tyres they qualified on, which obviously is the rule in real life, I suppose, but obviously they don't have to deal with lobby glitches in real life, so... Vince is saying he's so excited, he was away for 4 races now. Yeah, and unfortunately we had a bit of a delay here, so we're going to get going a little bit later than usual. Bonnie was saying he's going to win on Friday with the great Aston Martin plan. Tobbs to say, is that a Supra? No, it's an Aston Martin, not a Supra, and because of that you are being muted for the next 10 minutes. Yeah, Pierre, all of the championships can be done this week. So obviously today in the freshman, which we are still yet to see play out, tomorrow in the Premier, where Natty and Pope will be duking it out. And then on Thursday, where Piero and Dutchy, and I believe Tim still has a mathematical chance of winning, but would need quite a big mess at turn 1 and him not to be caught up in it to win. And then on Friday, Play Dutch, you can also seal the GT Sport League, which is brought to you by BCMR, Black Country Metal Recovery, as well. And that's on Friday. And on Saturday, I think Bon Evil can win the... Sunday even, but Bon Evil can win the Weekend League, which is in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be in Abu Dhabi for the last couple of races there. Natty, you are involved in 2 championship deciders today, so how are you feeling about tomorrow? Or this week even?
Well, yeah, I think obviously with the Premier there's still an extra race. Weekend League's the final one, so it's going to be tough. So I need to up my game in Brazil and Abu Dhabi to wrap up at least one of the championships.
Yeah, we teased Natty about not having won a proper Gavra Racing Championship, but yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to seal up that Premier Series title. We're going to get going momentarily, ladies and gents, for this race. Just waiting for the custom grid to be set up, and I think it has just been set up because we are readying up, and we're going to get going once again then. So, 20 seconds. Looking forward to this one. Oh, and Pierre's saying, what are you going to do next season, Natty? Well, I think he was hoping to become your teammate, Pierre.
Was I teammate?
I don't know. You seemed interested last week.
I mean, if I can do Thursdays, or if the Super League changes from a day on Thursday, and if I make up or end up racing in the Super League, I hope to be racing in the Super League. Then it'll be the Super League, maybe even GT Sport as well.
I'm going to get double the X Natty G1. Yeah, also, speaking of next season, we do have some exciting news for next season's academy in that we do have a lot of drivers signing up. We have a lot of people from the weekend league. I'm thinking about, Bon Evil. I think Woody is joining as well from the GT Sport League. Gonna have commentators such as Siphonite in the academy as well. So a very promising academy roster, I think, for next season. We'll be joined once again by Tiger and myself in that one, and hopefully we'll be able to put on as good a show as it was this season. In fact, our Academy League champion Rick Holt qualified on pole for in the freshman league and qualified on pole, I believe, last weekend in Mexico for the Super League, indeed. And our runner-up, Aston, also in the Super League as well, currently substituting for MQD in the Haas team in the Super League. So it's been interesting to see his development as well as a driver in the fastest league in Gavra Racing. But let's get this race underway then, shall we?
Yep, and I believe it will be an all-clear race. That's probably what the weather was for last, before we restarted, which is right, it's clear again. Though unfortunately no rain.
Oh, it didn't mean that we weren't going to have any rain at all, which is a bit of a disappointment, but unless Tiger's done that for his own personal game, we don't quite know yet. But we're going to...
Maybe Abu Dhabi can change it.
But we have got 160 comments, guys, so really cool to see. We've lost a couple of viewers, although that was expected, while we were AFK there a little bit for a bit as a just a bit of a lobby glitch. Let's get back to some racing then. There's been enough waffle from me and Natty. Hopefully the drivers can get underway for their formation lap soon. Finally, we can get going.
Yep.
Not the real ex Natty G. Is that you, Natty? Are you in the chat?
That was me.
Have we had another lobby glitch? Oh dear.
Potentially.
Right, I'm gonna text a couple drivers in the race. We've had a problem on both lobbies, so I think we are gonna have to restart again. Just one of those days, everybody. This does happen from time to time. There's always one race a season.
Always seems to be Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. Like last season in Brazil, we were waiting about for an hour.
I think we had one or two restarts in the academy last season. The Super League had their safety car incident.
I feel like the only two leagues that got a race around Brazil done, like, first time. Well, first time was the Premier Series, and I think the freshmen got it like 2 times around. So it's just luck of the draw really with the lobbies and the game and bug masters and still got 40 viewers, so that's really good to see. We've got a lot of loyal people still watching. 179 comments. We don't know if there's a problem with the game. It was working fine before, but yeah, something's just not working now, obviously. So, what are we going to do now, Natty?
It's just where we go into 2010 cars now around.
Oh, God.
Around Brazil. And there'll be another lobby glitch where we find
hang on a minute. We've got
cars.
drivers readying up now, apart from GSY Bait. Oh, there we go. Oh, so GSY Bates has sacrificed himself to the sim racing gods, and we're going to get but everybody else has also left, so I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, we are going to have another lobby restart, I think. So that is again unfortunate, but it's just one of those things, unfortunately. Alright, so Tiger has now left the session, so we are going to get another lobby restart. So, we'll get back in some cars, I guess, for probably a bit longer this time. Tiger is hosting the lobby Cryptech.
And I just got the tyre graphics up, just a reminder that the top 10 should really be starting on the soft tyres, as those are the tyres you guys qualified on before we restarted.
Yeah, so the drivers in the top 10, as you say, Natty, should really be on the soft tyres. Anyone who is in violation of that will be picking up an LLP2, and that is automatic and non-negotiable. Start on the right tyres. Yeah, we're just going to wait for Tiger to get stuff back up and running. Jeez, nearly 200 comments, sorry, in the chat. Right, what shall we do now? What do people want to see on Formula One? Oh, can trademark that song. Third time lucky, yeah, hopefully third time lucky. 3 times the charm is now over 200 comments, guys. Thanks for at least making mine and Natty's side of the story not that boring. Going backwards down Air Rouge. Could we do that without getting disqualified? If I turn off rules?
You can turn off rules and flags, I guess.
Okay, let's try it.
Or if you've done it in time trial, you won't get disqualified.
That is true, but I think... Yeah, okay, everyone's saying yes, okay, yeah, good idea. Okay, yeah, that's what we're doing then. So we're going to do a backwards lap around. Around Spa, apparently. I'll keep it on, like, multiplayer cars or something. Or we can go in something else if you would like. I'm not doing classic cars backwards at Spa, though, so whoever's going to suggest that, I'm telling you already that's not going to happen. Right, race settings then. So what do I need to turn off?
Guessing it's just the rules and flags.
Oh. That seems surprisingly easy. Like, I thought there was going to be a bunch of stuff you'd have to change. So safety car off. No one needs a safety car. Alright, 3 laps. Starting grid random. Weather. I'm going to put that to clear. I'm not doing that in the wet. Yes, the Tiger has just sent me an invite, so we will be joining up there in a minute. Do you want multiplayer cars, or shall we go in our own cars? Of different, not actual cars.
You're the host, it's up to you. Oh.
Well, that doesn't really help me, Natty. What do you want to see in the... you might as well go for the modern cards for Halo. God knows what could have a good idea, Cryptech. Yeah, just keep it in the multiplayer. No, we're going to switch it to the actual cars, because why not? There we go. So, I'm going to go for the McLaren, because I haven't driven that car in a while. Of course, you go for a Ferrari-powered car. Right, so this is going to be quite a weird start. Me and Nash are going to have to spin around off the grid and go the wrong way, essentially. I don't know if it's going to ghost us or something, or... Oh, Thunder's saying he wants us to do it flat out. Get some airtime! Be a man, do it with the eyes closed. Ooh, did I turn off damage?
I think so, yes.
Okay, right. Well, we're going to find out, I'm sure, at some point. So,
are we doing a lap backwards, or are we going to the end of the coming straight?
We'll do a whole lap backwards, because, I mean, it's not like we don't have time. I'm sure Tiger will yell at me in the chat if he needs us to join. Right, I am going to put on a setup for this, because I have no idea what's going to happen. If I can find it in time. I'm not going to be able to find it in time. Oh, poo. Alright, well, I guess just jumping right into this. Right, yeah, I'm not going in cockpit, so let's just spin this around. Oh, I jumped the start. Graceful, right, let's go. I feel like the big "don't go this way" sign on the dash is going to be a bit of a problem. Right, so backwards map round Spa.
Quick around Belgium's backwards.
So this is I know we're coming in towards Stab a lot now, but what gear do we take it in? Is it flat? Oh, the first bit you can probably take flat. Second bit, not so much. Now backwards through Fanya. Oh, it's actually quite a nice track in reverse.
Yeah, you say.
Huh, this should be easy flat now, this bit. Oh yeah, Puon is easy flat now. Oh no, the second bit isn't, Now up through No Name, which ironically gives it... I feel like a lap in reverse is actually quicker than a lap forwards. Like, if you look at the... oh, yeah, we've both made the same mistake.
Didn't leave it wide.
Yeah, that's the racing line though now. Right, so now through Le Camp and onto the Kemmel straight, but not as you would recognise it. And now here comes the corner of Big Send. So Natty, you gonna take it flat?
Yeah.
I'm taking it flat too. Oh my!
Completely
Oh! That actually wasn't too bad. It was a terrible racing line, but it wasn't too bad. Now through the source backwards, which is... This is actually not a bad track in reverse.
Not to be fair.
Gav, if you're watching this, absolutely you've joined the wrong lobby, mate. I don't think DRS would work here in reverse.
Probably not.
You could probably have it through here though, to be fair. The others has just turned into us trying to find different ways to make backwards tracks work.
Yeah.
Oh, Natty, you've left me. Oh no, that's not flat! Oh, it's not flat. No, that's where we abruptly leave that then. So there you go, you wanted to see us go backwards through Rouge. I hope everyone got their risk. Whisk! I hope everybody got their whisk, I meant wish!
Nice.
Yeah, it was weird, Wolfie.
Hopefully we get to race at Brazil rather than Belgium backwards.
Oh yeah, hopefully we do see an actual race tonight. That would be a good start, I think, for all the people wanting to watch a race and not me and Natty goof around on F1 2020. Thunder, please don't plug your YouTube in the chat.
Just waiting on one more person, I think.
Is it Rick Holtz again? Yes, it is. I don't think he gets the invites. I'm going to send him one. So yeah, once again, the PlayStation logo screen will be up on there, so you won't be able to see anything that I'm seeing. But you will be able to hear my voice and Natty's voice. And if you're not bored of that for the last an hour now, we've basically tried. Right, yeah, Rick Holt has been re-invited.
And he's in.
Awesome sauce.
Hopefully, yeah, they get the custom grid set up and then we can get...
Ready to
I was going to say
rumble.
back racing, but we haven't really started.
That's a good point. I was also going to say back racing. It's interesting how we have all 4 Italians in this league, both on this like the same place in the lobby and all in Italian cars.
Yeah.
Well, I say Italian cars, the Alfa Romeo team is basically Swiss, but we won't dive into that. Oh, hi Tiger.
Evening, sorry. Just hopping in to just say, apologise to everyone for the delay. Once again, this game has been poo. Yeah, I'm going to just do the custom grid now and we'll get underway. There won't be a formation lap, we're going to try it without formation lap.
Okay.
And we're going to see what happens. And if not, I just think the race is going to have to be cancelled, so...
That is,
we'll see what happens anyway, but...
I'll just change the name of the thing, and we
I'm
can
pretty
do
annoyed. So if you see me crashing into a wall, it's because I've probably wanted to just, you know, end Codemasters, but you know.
No. Well, we'll let you get on with a custom grid then,
Alrighty,
and
yeah.
we'll find a way
Cheers,
to
guys.
entertain all 35 people still watching. Oh,
All
Dutchy's
right.
here.
Just promote the podcast. I'm sure you've already done that.
Yeah, we've kind of run
And
through everything. I'm not going to lie. That the
just
plug material is very quickly
tell
running
them to
out.
go and check out my hot lap videos.
Go check out the hot lap videos, everybody. It's a quick word there from Tiger. You can obviously check out the new hot lap videos that are online on the YouTube. We've done Sardinia Road Track A and obviously Interlagos for this week of racing here at Gavra Racing. We've got a car who has left. We've lost a Cash Stengel, I think that is. Let's try and get him back in if he can rejoin, or maybe it's a bit too late. Maybe let's try and get him back in. But yeah, go make sure if you are struggling around either Interlagos or Sardinia Road Track, go and check out those track guides. All the good information in there that you can use to better your lap times. F1 2K21. Yeah, I do feel like this track is sort of cursed whenever it comes to a Gavra racing race. And I think any race that we've done on here has actually like happened on time. Like before I got stuck in the loading screen, I wasn't able to start the stream. Cash Stengel's saying that he left. Could you join back, or do you need an invite? Because we can send you an invite if you need. Cheese stick, nice. Boah. We can't push the button just yet. Well, me and Natty can't push the button anyway, but we can't. We have to wait for Tiger to be done with the custom grid. But he'll let all the drivers know when he's ready with that, and we're gonna start the race. No formation lap. Just gonna be jumping right into that. So that's gonna keep me and Natty on our toes. Remember, the game says a soft to hard, putting at about lap 12, between laps 12 and 14 for a set of the hard tyres to take you through to the end of the race. Whether we see drivers push that a bit and go for a medium stint at the end of the race, we'll have to wait and see. And also, hopefully now, because the drivers have had to wait over an hour for it, that we're not going to have any big sends into turn 1 and subsequently any crashes. So let's get this one underway as soon as possible. I'm sure Tiger is working as hard as he can to get everything ready for us. Oh, Cash Dangle can't race. That's unfortunate for Cash. Yeah, if this doesn't work, then we are going to have to cancel this race, meaning that no one will be getting any points, unfortunately, and we're going to have to go to the next one. Tiger just had to change a lobby setting to stop the lobby from starting, which means we have to start again. So, drivers, if you can hear us, please get ready up until Tiger says that we can do so. Otherwise, we are going to be here for a lot longer. Yeah, no fun. There's still 38 viewers. I've gone down to 35 now. Going to check the rules real quick on a shorter race. Oh, I think we are going to get back going here, Natty.
Hopefully.
Pierre saying who is missing. We've lost Cash Stengel, unfortunately, from the race. And we are going to get back, well, not back to racing, but I'm going to get back to Brazil then, where hopefully we'll be able to complete a lap of racing. Nearly 300 comments. So once again, guys, thanks for not making mine and Natty's jobs a bit more boring, and a big thanks to everyone who sticks around and has sticks with it, and hopefully we'll be able to reward you with quite a fascinating race. So big thanks to everyone who sticked around. But as I say, obviously, if this 300th comment, Thunder, you got the 300th comment. There you go. That's something you can put on your wall, and you just ruined it by getting the 301st comment. Alright, still got 40 viewers. Wow, I mean, like, that's actually insane, guys. That's nice. Thunder's saying the road to 400 begins. Yeah, hopefully we're not going to get too many crashes. Let's see some clean battles out there, alright, freshman league drivers. Let's get this one underway. We're not going to have any formation lap. We're just going to be going straight to those 5 red lights, which you all desperately would like to see. It will take the drivers a little bit longer to ready up, but here we have a tick. We have multiple ticks. We are going to get racing, Natty. It's finally happening.
Yeah, hopefully. Just a reminder to start top 10, starting on the softs. That's called the tyres that they qualified. Obviously, the guys outside the top 10 can, start on whatever tyre they plead to.
And yeah, obviously, drivers inside the top 10, if you're not on the same tyre, you will be receiving an LLP2, and that is a blanket rule, no exceptions. We are going to get 5 red lights finally then. That seems a bit premature because I haven't even got any of my things. We have got the 5 red lights out and we are underway finally then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Absolute's had a good start. Rick Holt hasn't had as good a start, but he's going to try and go round the outside of turn 1, but Absolute gets the upper hand and he leads into turn 2. We've got Vinch around in the background and he's ran after 3 weeks off and he's hit Tiger Assassin at turn. We've got a McLaren off as well, and that's Brizzy going through a polystyrene barrier there, and he's off the track. Yellow flags in sector 1. A lot of cars going side by side down that main strip, but Absolute leads us away then in towards turn 4, and we've got the drivers going through this corner now. We've got Vincher going off again, and Ace of Sabo getting a bit out of shape. Tiger's going to swoop round the outside of him now through turn 6, up and towards turn 7 and 8, but for the most part Natty off to a fairly clean start, but I think drivers going in there thinking about lap 36 and some thinking about lap 1, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've got a few drivers at the back. He's picked up a little bit of damage. I think Infomella's got some wing damage as well. I'm not sure, but there was definitely some carbon fibre when we run down towards turn 4, as Alex Gunn Mac is off into the wall down at turn 9, I think that is.
As now we've got the 2 Red Bull drivers nose to tail up the hill then towards the end of lap 1. Can Rick Holt make a move on his teammate then and get his lead back after losing it off of the start here? 0.3 of a second now is the gap. They're going to come down in towards turn 1 once again then. Can Rick Holt make a move? A little bit too far away. Locks up, in fact, on that front left in towards turn 1. Very easy to do if you're braking and turning at the same time. 0.2 of a second now the gap. Here comes Rick Holt. He wants this lead back straight away. Natty, no messing around for the Dutch driver today. No DRS just yet. That will be enabled on the next lap, and that does get completed quite quickly here. But he's so much more confident on the brakes, Natty, into turn 4.
Yeah, he seems to have the edge in the braking points. Tiger's into the pits to repair the wing damage. Infomella with his wing damage decides to stay out. Tiger pitting for the medium, so that's probably a 2-stop from the Haas driver, and will probably end up pitting for another set of softs or mediums come the end of the race.
Yeah, and we're hopefully hopefully for Rick Holt, he'll be able to get past his teammate. We can have a bit of a battle here. We've got a really close contest for the top 3 then. Tony's about 3 seconds behind this pack already, as up the hill now here comes Rick Holt with the overtake button on. Absolutely actually has a little bit less CRS. That's very unusual to see from the German driver. Going to come down the hill now up towards the line. DRS open, not quite yet, but Rick Holt going to go to the inside line now and goes past his teammate before we even get to the braking zone for turn 1. Natty, and Rick Holt works himself back up into the lead of the race. DRS has now been enabled, so has Absolutely been playing this tactic dramatically here, getting the DRS now down the back straight, has the DRS open, the gap's 4/10 of a second. Can he make a move back on his Red Bull teammate in towards turn 4? A little bit too far away on this occasion.
Yeah, top two really going at it. You can see Absolute wants this championship, as there's Hampton getting past Sabin and Mr. down straight into turn 4 as well. But I believe Hampton qualified in the top 10, did he?
I'll get the...
Oh no, he's qualified in the
Oh, yellow's in sector 2, and it's been a big crash, Natty. We've got Dazzler off, Brizzy off. No safety car just yet, though. We've got all of our cars back going once again. Tiger Assassin running down in 19th and last position at the moment, so he'll be looking to improve. Virtual safety car, and Victor's out of the race. And what's happened there? Oh, he's just spun it. He spun it and he's lost a tyre, Natty.
That's hugely unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver. Does bring up the virtual safety car. Do you think we'll see any of the leaders pit under this VSC, maybe for hards to the end?
Well, Rick Holt has stayed out. Yeah, they've all stayed out, Natty. I don't think we're going to get anyone coming into the pits. I would have thought it's a bit too early.
It appears everyone's staying out. This could give him Femella a good chance to repair the wing damage if he gets to the pits in time. He might not lose too much time.
Quite a long virtual safety car at the moment.
Fincher picks up a drive-through for speeding under the VSC, so he'll have to serve that in the next 3 laps, otherwise he will be disqualified from the race.
As you are back to green flag racing now, then our top 3 separated by 1.2 seconds as they come through turn 6 for the 4th time in this race. You can see that absolutely a little bit later on the brakes, but can't get the car turned in as well as his teammate there at the apex, and that's what's losing in time at the moment. But this is exactly the kind of race that Absolute loves to execute. Natty, we say it time and time again, that's because he's so good at it. He sits behind the car in front, saves that ERS, only attacks when he needs to towards the end of the race, but it must be said, he does need to keep on the gearbox of his teammate at the moment.
Yeah, he's almost dropped outside of the DRS range. The gap now 9/10, but we know what Absolute's like. He can able to find the pace come the end of the race and use all the ERS he has saved up throughout the start of the race.
Still that 9/10 of a second behind them as you come through the second of the 2 DRS zones found around this track. Rick Holt already trying to break the slipstream. Tonsuri is going past Al-Bakabrev down the main straight. And in fact, Savva the Mist has got past Hampton. And in fact, got Tonsuri locking up in the background. That's going to put the Williams of Al-Bakabrev now. They're going to go wheel to wheel through turn 2. Nicely done there by both drivers, keeping it clean. But now Tonsuri comes back at the Williams. There's nearly big contact there. So going to go wheel to wheel now down and towards turn 4. And Tonsuri should get ahead of the Williams here and back up into 10th place.
Yeah, good move from the Racing Point driver, getting ahead of the Williams. There's Hampton closing in on Savo as well, both of them on the medium tyres.
And Data getting past Robert Codfather there as well in the background then, but Rick Holt already got that gap to out over DRS range, 1.1 seconds now between our top 2.
Yeah, Rick Holt starting to pull away a little bit from his teammates. Absolute 1.2, 1.1 seconds. Rick Holt setting the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 9.9. And they will be looking to extend his lead at the top.
And GS5 Beta is now putting the AlphaTauri of Tonios under pressure through the first sector. Runs a little bit wide though, and that's going to put him on the back foot through the second DRS. And Vinch has gone a bit wide though through turn 1. And going to put Ace Zabin now in the Alfa Romeo on his gearbox as we head through turn 3 into the second DRS zone. DRS open for Ace Zabin, gives him about an extra 10 mile an hour boost down this back straight. Has run out of ERS though, unfortunately for the Italian driver, and stays behind the Renault at this point in time.
Fincher picking up another 3-second time penalty. I think he's got to serve his drive-through on this or the next lap, picking that up from the virtual safety car.
Speaking of which, Finch has just gone wide. It's going to allow Ace of Sabin maybe to work it around the outside, but can't get it done on this occasion. Does he try a dive bomb into the next hairpin? And I thought he was going to go for that, Natty, but Fincher goes wide once again. Oh, and there's nearly contact there between the two as they drive themselves down through turn 10 up towards Jun Sao, and that was really very ugly there for the Chinos who drove. But Fincher goes wide again, and now that's allowed Ace of Sabin through and up into 6th position.
Sabin now up into 6th place and can start to push and gain the time on GS1 Bates, and Vinches into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. a bag of breath getting past Centuri down the start-finish straight before turn 1, and then loses his work into 9th place.
And yeah, Gavra seems to have some very good pace around here on those medium tyres at the moment. Going to come through turn 3 now. Can have a DRS open once again. Can he try and close onto the back of Hampton, who currently sits in front of him? And in fact, Savadamista not that far ahead of this group, the lead car on those medium tyres at the moment on lap 7. As Hampton picks up a 3-second time penalty, in fact.
Rick Holt still maintaining the gap out front, 1.5 seconds. Another gap to Absolute 11. As it stands, I think Absolute will win the championship, finishing in 2nd place. If RC8's down in 3rd, he will be gaining points over the Alfa Romeo driver. That's all he needs to do to win it here in Brazil.
Oh, Gavra getting a bit out of shape there on the exit of the hairpin. That's going to leave him vulnerable to the race point. He goes very wide, Natty, and he's picks up a 3-second time penalty, and he's gone off the track again. I think Al-Baghdad having a little bit of a lapse in judgment there. He's gone wide. He's also positioned now to Tunturi and a potential position to Hampton as well. But Tunturi now is going to have the DRS open as he head down towards the start-finish straight. Hasn't had the DRS available to him for some reason, but will be all over the back of the McLaren in towards turn 1. Can't make anything of it at the moment. Oh, but Hampton goes a bit wide, goes onto the AstroTurf, and surely now this is Tunturi's chance to get himself further up in the points-paying positions. Hampton's going to go defensive in front of us. Let's ride off-board now with these two cars in towards turn 4. Too far, unfortunately, on this occasion for Tunturi to get past. We've got Vinci now closing on the back of Robert Codfather. DRS open for the Renault, going to pull alongside the Haas, and going to pull ahead of the Haas before we even get to the next braking zone.
Moves Fincher back up into 13th. Robert Codfather running a little bit wide, but back up top, Rick Holt's extended the gap now. 2.3 seconds separate Absolute 11 and his replacement teammate Rick Holt stepping into Jiu-Jitsu curve tonight, and he's doing a good job so far, leading the race 2.4 seconds, and is extending that gap over Absolute 11.
Yeah, as Hampton seems to be falling backwards in this race at the moment now. Tunturi less than a second behind his Renault compatriot at the moment. Sorry, McLaren compatriot at the moment. Then DRS open for the racing point. Going to come down the main straight now. Will he make a move to the outside toward Tunturi? Can he get past the McLaren into turn 1? A little bit too far away on this occasion. So we're seeing, Natty, that maybe the DRS isn't as powerful as expected. Oh, as Hampton's gone very wide. He's off the track. He's on the grass. And that's going to allow Tunturi through yellows in sector 1. No further crash there, fortunately, for the McLaren. We're going to have a Williams now going wheels with the McLaren, maybe down in towards turn 4. Al-Baghdad is going to try and make a move on the McLaren. Is he? No, but a little bit too far back. But Hampton goes wide again, and that has allowed Al-Baghdad through. So, Natty, we're seeing drivers make a lot of mistakes here, running off the track and making mistakes, and that's allowing other drivers to capitalise upon that and get themselves up into better positions.
Yeah, adding to that point as well, Brucey got Infamella down the inside of turn 1. Infamella, though, also ran wide. I think he got in the grass on the right hand side, and that just caused his car to drift off wide into turn. We've got a McLaren off.
That's Hampton.
It's Hampton.
And he's stuck against the wall. We're going to try and reverse back on track nice and safely. Has been able to do so, but hits the wall. I don't know if he's got damage from that. I don't think he has, so that's the best that Hampton could do there, really. He couldn't reverse back onto the racing line, so responsible stuff there from the McLaren driver to bring it back on track safely.
And Fincher making another mistake down at the penultimate few corners, allowed Alex Ganamack to get through.
As I believe he just had team orders from the Haas team. Robert Codfather letting Tiger Assassin go through in his pursuit now of Fincher's 12th place at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, Brucey's gone.
Ferrari off. I think it's Hampton.
It's Infamella.
Infamella, sorry.
And he's going slowly, letting the Mercedes a triple O go through before he gets back running again. But Rick Holt's made a mistake here, Natty, because now Absolute's all over him coming up the main straight, the back straight even. And through the fast left-handers, Absolute's going to have DRS on his teammate here. Rick Holt will have to go defensive. Here comes Absolute 11, then down the main straight. Can he make a move into turn 1? Going to look to the inside line. Doesn't look, actually, Natty. So hasn't gone for the move there on his teammate. That is very surprising.
Maybe he's saving it for the for turn 4. He's going to use the second DRS and have another go. Doesn't use any ERS. Rick Holt, though, only has no ERS left to play with, and Absolute 11 will stay behind his teammate. And Tiger's getting ahead of Incher.
And how much now will Rick Holt be hurting on those tyres? Obviously has had a lock-up somewhere in that final sector, and that has put Absolute 11 all over the gearbox of his Red Bull teammate, where he goes very deep into the hairpin of turn 7. And that's going to lose him a bit more time coming towards turn 9 and 10, and towards turn 10, sorry, towards turn 11, towards, is that block corner? Not on this occasion, it's Absolute and Rick Holt. They're going to come through that corner now. 0.5 of a second now, 0.4 between these front two, but still within DRS range is Absolute. Wants to get this win on track, wants to win the championship with a win, and let's see if he can make it happen. Then down the main straight, once again we find ourselves our two drivers fighting for the lead in this race. Absolute getting closer, but not close enough on this occasion. The two Red Bulls now head down through turn 2, and that they already have traffic in the form of Infamella.
Yeah, luckily for Absolute, Rick Holt doesn't have the DRS, but still Absolute not quick enough in a straight line. Didn't get the best of runs through turn 3 to have a go on his teammate, losing up just a little bit of time to his teammate, but he's still got 24 laps to go in this race, but I'm sure he'd want to win this race on track as well as winning the championship.
Oh, as Rick Holt locks up again now in towards turn 8. This is currently our closest battle out there on the racetrack. Triple O getting out of the way now of our leaders, and Rick Holt's made another mistake then in towards turn 11, so definitely doesn't have ABS on, because he wouldn't be well locking up otherwise. But now through the final couple of corners, Rick Holt losing all of the track on the outside there, something that we've seen and some of the fastest people in time trial doing, not necessarily in league races then. DRS open once again for Absolute 11 in his quest to try and get past his teammate into the lead of this race. And Natty, the question must be asked now, did Absolute make a mistake by not going for that move first time round and towards turn 1?
Yeah, it's tough to say what Absolute's doing. We know he likes to wait until the end of the race. Maybe he's trying to conserve his soft tyres and go for a set of mediums, hitting around that 15, 16 hard tyres. This is kind of the time that the soft ones will be in for the hard tyres. So whether Rick Holt will be in this lap, maybe Absolute might try and undercut, or try and go longer and then pit for the mediums. We'll have to wait and see what his strategy is in this race.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think we're going to see a bit of tyre management come into the picture now as these drivers try and nurse their tyres to the end of this race.
Absolute still within 5/10. He ideally wants to be 4-5 tenths come the final corner. With the over DRS, maybe a bit of overtake to have a go into turn 1.
As now Absolute charging up the hill once again with the ERS battle on, but Rick Holt has got nothing to defend with here, Natty, but just has superior straight line speed. If you remember from the formation lap when we did have one, the game was saying laps 12 to 14 for a soft to hard strategy. In fact, it just pops up there on the screen. I'll try and get rid of the rest of the UI, but yeah, it didn't do that in time. They're going to have a full track map up on instead, but it did say that the pit stop strategy window was open.
Got a car up in the middle.
That's our Gavra.
And
he's heading towards the wall now, and that's another crash that we've seen there. And is he just parking up to retire from the race? I think he is.
Yeah, I think he's retired from the session. So we've gone from 19 to 17 here in Brazil.
That's going to be another DNF then notched up against our Gavra stable, unfortunately. For him, we've got yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. Now that will be our Gavra's car pulling off to the side of the road there and getting parked in a nice and safe location so that we don't have... that might actually be a safety car. No, we're going to go back to green flag. Oh, wow!
Oh, absolutely.
That was a bit dicey. He followed his teammate nearly into the pits there. And what tyres does Rick Holt go to now? To set up the hards, Natty. That's very interesting. So, will Absolute stay out and try and nurse out RC8's in as well, Natty? That's for the hards as well. So both of these drivers then opting to go for a soft to hard strategy. Do we see Absolute stay out now for longer and try and take it to the mediums?
I'd say lap 15-16 was the time for medium tyres. But it seems that these guys going for the hard, opting for the hard compounder tyre. Ace de Savo also goes onto the hard tyre, so the Absolute 11 Antonio staying out, Bates as well. So they might try and stretch it an extra lap or two and come in for the mediums.
This could be very interesting then. So we're going to have our top two potentially on different strategies. Obviously, Absolute couldn't react on the same lap as his teammate because obviously they share a pit box. But now, that has made this race very interesting as Sabo gets passed by Daza through the DRS zone towards turn 4. So Absolute into the pits here, Natty. What tyres do they put on the Red Bull? So it's had to respond to Rick Holt, but as you say, Natty, it could probably go to a set of the mediums. It's the hards. So maybe the mediums aren't as durable as we thought.
Tonios decides to stay out, so we'll have to wait a few more laps to see what he's going to be doing. Bates is into the pits, so the Williams might try go for a set of hard medium tyres.
Let's see what Bates goes for. They're going to come trundling down the pit lane now at 48 miles an hour into the pit box. It's a set of the hard tyres, Natty. And Rick Holt's already made his way past Tonios and back into the lead of this race. Is Tonios now...
11.
Is he now goal hanging?
He's lost time.
He has lost a bunch of time. That's why I thought he was going to go for the medium. So the undercut, very strong around here. So for those of you who don't know, the undercut is when we pit before the car in front to get on fresher tyres and build more of a gap, using the advantage that a driver would get from those fresher tyres. And hopefully come out ahead of the car behind. Absolute 11 now, 1.8 seconds behind Absolute, and almost 3 seconds now behind Rick Holt. So this really has not worked for him. As in the background there, 87 GSI Bates going wheels. We've got a Ferrari off again here, Natty. That's Infamel, and he's facing the wrong way onto the track, but he can't move anywhere because he's going to come back onto the racing line. Has to get back going here fairly quickly as there's an Alfa Romeo now coming around the corner. Will he see the Ferrari? Does see the Ferrari, so stays out of the way. So yeah, Infamel again being very sensible with the driving and going back on track nice and safely there, so always good to see. Tonios is in here, Natty, and it's mediums. We have a gambler on the mediums, Natty, and it is Tonios.
So it appears the first driver for the soft medium strategy. It's going to be interesting as well to see how far Sabo and Tenturi, I was going to say how far Tenturi can take those mediums, but he's come into the pits. I'm going to assume this is for hard tyres.
Must be. I don't think Sauce will take you to the end from here. That'd be asking a lot of them.
And Daz is also into the pit, so he might be in full medium tyres as well.
It is the hards for Tenturi. Then you can see the Racing Point mechanics putting the hards on the Pink Panther.
And it's mediums for Daza, so another driver, well, one of the few drivers to do the soft medium here.
Tiger Assassin, big send into turn 4, gets himself past Alex Gallamakin up into P8, but will be falling back after he makes another pit stop, you would have thought. As a Tenturi picks up another 3-second time penalty, wheel to wheel with Robert Codfather now into turn 4. Robert just not having the grip round the outside to try and fight that move.
Yes, going to say Robert was trying to, almost able to go around the outside, but Tenturi held 10th place, fighting for the final points position. And you'd have to say Robert Codfather's soft tyres are probably dying quite quickly, having been on them for 16 laps. And
speaking of which, we just had yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2. Not too sure what those were for, but I thought we had a big boom crash there.
I think it was Triple O getting out of the way for the Red Bulls. But yeah, nice diverting strategy. But how far where do we see Tonios closing the gap? It's quite a big gap. He's got to try and close in, but a safety car might, or definitely will change.
Do we use it, Nancy? Do we use the L word? we have had quite a few of them today, ladies and gentlemen, but I think in the race we fit a bit of a lull. He's going to be the first to get claimed by the realm. That Infella picks up a 3-second time penalty, so we can feel the lull starting to kick in now. Well, yeah, 1.1 seconds and our closest battle on track at the moment. That is Ace de Savo on GSY Bates, trying to get within that DRS range and work his way past the Williams once again. But Ace de Savo on 2-lap hold hards, Bates on 1-lap hold hard, so it should be relatively matched in terms of pace differential.
And Ace de Savo's closed in on GSY Bates. He's got no battery power left compared to the Williams, who's got 95% of it left.
And goes a bit wide into turn 1 to boot. But we'll have DRS there.
Bates picking the penalty as well. That's not going to help him in come the end of this race, but Ace Verstappen not quite close enough just yet to get the move done.
As Antonio is picking up another 3-second time penalty, and that won't be good for him in his quest for the podium today. In fact, let's have a look here at the penalties. So Sabo's picks up 3 seconds of time penalties. Oh! Ferrari's off. That's Sabo. Oh no, it's Infamella at turn 8, and he's spun his car back round. He's going to get going again. I just saw that in the bottom of my screen there, Natty. As that no safety car called just yet.
Infamella just seems to be struggling a little bit on those hard tyres. Doesn't have the grip that he wants. Oh, he's trying to find him that Ferrari. So there might be into a set of mediums potentially, or even softs. Get off those hards. Just riding on board, it doesn't really look like he's got any rear grip on them. So he might be pitting this lap.
And the Ace Verstappen now all over the back of GS5 Bates in towards turns 1 and 2. Can't make a move just yet. Got yellows now. That's Vincher who's going off track to get out of the way, of our leaders. And here comes Ace Verstappen once again with a McLaren off though. And it's Hampton in the wall. And has lost his front wing. Safety car! Oh wow. And Hampton needs to be careful not to get disqualified here.
There we go, the L word, and it's effective as always.
We love to see it, but yeah, no drivers out of the race, so luckily, just Hampton unfortunately spinning there and losing the old front wing. Who do we see in the pits? Rick Holt comes in, Absolute comes in.
Gap to RC is 13.5 seconds. I think they've got the gap they need.
Will it be enough?
Double stack work.
Does RC8 stay out? RC8 comes in. Rick Holt to the mediums. Absolute's going to the softs. Absolute has gone to the soft compound of tyre. Has Rick Holt made a mistake here, Natty?
Triple O also in for the softs. RCA is on to the soft tyres as well.
This has been a godsend now for Sabo the Mister. On fresh soft tyres, currently finds himself in 4th position. And for Tiger Assassin, who can now pit and get off those aging medium tyres and onto a fresh set of softs to the end of the race.
And the same events happened in USA last week with Seven and Mister staying out on mediums or hards for I think 20 laps or so, and then he was gifted a safety car. Comes out just behind Bates, who's on 4-lap old hard tyres. So all the guys on the soft tyres are really going to be able to push in the final 15 laps. Rick Holt, though, on medium tyres might struggle a little bit in the opening phases compared to his teammate Absolute 11.
And after all that, Natty, Tiger's going to come back out in the points here, most likely. As GS5 Bates was your only driver to stay out on worn hard tyres.
So Bates going for track position. Maybe the DRS train might save him on those hards compared to the guys on the softs. They're going to have so much more grip than the Williams, especially through the corners. But we will have to wait 3 laps after the safety car comes in for that DRS to come into play. But Absolute 11 now in a really good chance to try and win this race.
Yeah, certainly. I think with the tyre advantage, the balance of power has been firmly swung in the way of the German driver. GS5 Bates comes into the pits, Natty. And that's going to drop him down way out of the point, surely. So finds himself in the pit lane, goes to a set of the medium compound tyre. Where will he come back out then? Because Ace Sabo is going to pass him in the pits. Tiger's going to pass him in the pits here. GS5 Bates back rolling now through the pit lane at the pit exit. Tiger's coming through turn 1 at full pelt, obviously, because he's allowed to go and catch up to the safety car. But GS5 Bates has lost it in the pit exit, Natty! And he's got front wing damage!
Oh no.
Oh no! And that's disaster for the Williams driver. He's going to have to pit again. I think we knew it would happen, but to someone, but that's very cruel luck then for GS5 Bates, who's running such a good race, Natty.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Oh, and he's nearly gone into Alex back.
Unfortunate for the Williams driver. Almost hitting the Mercedes. I think he did hit the Mercedes there.
Alex kind of just closed the door on him and has
5-second penalty if Alex got a max. That might be removed by the stewards after the race.
As the drivers backing themselves up here then. We could go back to green flag this lap, though. Would be a bit of a late call by the safety car. Has done that before though. Just waiting for Robert Codfather to close up onto the back of the pack now.
And RCA has below ahead of him, in between himself and absolute 11. So,
are we going to go back to green flag? We are going to go back to green. That is very late. Right then, so Rick Holt becomes the factor safety car for the next 10 seconds and he's gone already, Natty. So here we go then for 15 laps around the Interlagos circuit. We've got the Mercedes in the pits, GSY Bates in the pits now as well. Let's get back to green flag racing straight away here. That was a very, very late call for the safety car, diving across the track and into the pit lane. We're going to go back to green flag racing. Rick Holt has a good lead already. Saber the Mister under pressure then from Ace to Saber behind him. Absolute weaving to get some temperature in those tyres. Tiger Assassin already making moves, gets the move done on Ace Saber and up into 6th position, so already not messing around here and trying to get back those positions that he lost on lap 1.
Yep, up into 6th place. He's got Saber the Mister up in front. He had a little bit of contact with Tonio's on the safety car restart down at turn 1, and both try and get as high up the grid as they can, but Absolute 11 is going to be on fire on those soft compounded tyres compared to Rick Holt on the mediums, currently 7 tenths behind his teammate. And I'm sure he wants to get the move done for the lead of the race.
Yeah, definitely will want to be getting that move done with the fresh soft tyres booted onto that Red Bull. Really needs to make this move soon and get away from his teammate here. But I'm going to be watching Tiger Assassin. I think he's about to go for another move here. Tiger on Saber the Mister, the gap 2 tenths of a second now. Our closest 2 cars out on track. Tiger's run out of DRS, so down the main straight. Can he make a move into turn 1? Not going to go for anything just yet on the Ferrari.
Closer and closer to the rear of the Ferrari, trying to get himself back up into 5th place.
Vincher getting past that traffic, I believe that is, but Tunchiri and Bruce now very close together on track. Yeah, that's traffic then of Hampton Tiger still trying to work his way past the car in front of him, but now 2 tenths of a second between our top 2 drivers. Now this is big for the championship. RC8 needs to get onto the back of this battle.
Yeah, RC8 needs to finish ahead of Absolute 11. And Absolute 11 really to fall a little bit back down the grid for the championship to continue into Abu Dhabi, but at the minute it looks like Absolute 11 is trying to make a move for the lead of the race, which is not what R8 wants, and he wants to win this championship.
Yeah, and it's on the mat getting past Dazzler as well. I think we have DRS enabled next lap, not this lap then, so it's just going to be an overtake maneuver. That might be all Absolute needs to win this race. 2 tenths of a second, 1 tenth of a second. Rick Holt goes defensive. Here comes Absolute trying to work it to the outside. Rick Holt firmly shuts the door and chops across his teammate, and I'm going to go through turns 2 and through turn 3 on towards turn 4. DRS is enabled then, and Absolute 11 has it. Rick Holt knows that's going to go defensive in towards turn 4, but Absolute can't make the move this time by.
If these two decide to battle too much, it could allow RC8 to close in on the 2 leaders. Tiger picks up a 3-second time penalty as he's closing in on the back of Sabo.
Oh, but Absolute locks up and goes a bit wide. I'd heard the revs drop on my microphone there, sorry, on the headphones even, in towards that corner. So I think Absolute's starting to struggle a little bit now. Has he taken too much out of those soft tyres already? With just over 11 laps to go in this race. He's going to have DRS once again on Rick Holt, but Rick, Natty, he seems to be able to keep decent pace on those mediums.
Those mediums seems to be holding up. I don't know, I think it's just my speed, but my intervals have just completely froze.
And that's the fastest lap of the race, Natty, with no DRS.
Comes Tiger and Sabo. He might be looking for a move down into turn 1, but it's not that close enough.
But Sabo's got wide, that's going to give him a bad run now through turn 2, and this should be a big opportunity then for Tiger to get himself back up into where he started. Squeezes to the inside, DRS open. Nice as you like. Sabo is overtaken by the Haas into turn 4. A little bit of tyre rubbing there on the entry to the corner, but Tiger gets his way back up into 5th place. But here comes Sabo back at the Haas in towards turn 6. Can he make the move? Not at this point in time, Ben. That's going to free Tiger up to try and chase down Tonio's and even maybe RC8 for his first podium.
Yeah, penalties are going to become a factor at the end of the race. Most of them on 3 seconds. Alex going to Mac on 5, Vincher and 9. The front three still without a penalty, but here comes Absolute. He's closer than ever with the overtake. The DRS will be enabled as soon as he gets past the line. There it is.
Here we go.
He's got the slipstream, he's got the run into turn one. Rick Holt goes defensive.
Absolute blast.
On the outside.
Nice move there from Absolute, getting the move done on his teammate. Now, can he build a gap, or can Rick Holt stay with him on those fresh, soft tyres? He will have DRS straight again back on his teammate. Rick Holt's fighting this down the inside. They're going to go wheel to wheel into turn 4. Don't collide here, boys. And Rick Holt keeps his car on the inside and gets the move done and up into the lead of the race once again. So we are going to have a battle here between the two Red Bull cars in the closing stages of this race. Let's look back from Rick Holt's car now, back at Absolute, as we come through turn 6 and 7 in towards the hairpin of turn 8. Tiger has managed to stay ahead of Sabah the Mister as well down there in the battle for 5th. As now carving through turn 11 up towards is that block corner. Once again, it isn't exactly, it's not block, it's Rick Holt. And Absolute and they're fighting tooth and nail here for the lead of the race. Overtake button on then for both drivers. Rick Holt barely has any usable energy left to defend with. Here comes Absolute 11 once again. Rick Holt will surely go defensive. Actually stays on the outside line, going to make his teammate go to the inside. Squeezes him towards the pit wall. Absolute 11 goes back down the inside. Rick Holt going to try and work it to the outside. It's going to be contact. They keep it nice and clean through turn 2. But now Rick Holt will be coming back at his teammate. Absolute will be ready for this trick. He's going to go defensive surely here. And stays on the right hand side of the track. Can Rick Holt go for a dive bomb move down the inside? He's too far, Natty.
Yeah, Rick Holt getting a bit loose on the rear from the exit of turn 4. And we'll have to settle for second place for now. I'm sure Absolute will be trying to push as much as he can on those softs to try and win this race.
I think Rick Holt now needs to play a bit of a patient game. He needs to make Absolute work those soft tyres harder than he would like and then capitalise on the mediums later on in this race here. As the little tries picking up another 3-second time penalty there. Here comes Rick Holt now, gets a better exit, better drive off the corner. Can he try and get back past his teammate and back up into the lead of this race? Again, he barely has any ERS to play with here now, so he needs to be managing that a little bit better. And he's going to grab the DRS open once again down the main straight. Can Rick Holt make a move? He's got a Ferrari off, and it's outside the middle. We're going to come back to the lead though, because Rick Holt's gone down the inside of his teammate and gets himself back up into the lead of the race. No safety car or anything just yet, but now Absolute will have a DRS, will have the superior overtake energy. He's going to be coming at his team. They're going to go to the outside line in towards turn 4. Absolute gets the move done once again round the outside.
And Sabah the Mister was able to defend from Ace to Sabah into turn 1, but Ace to Sabah's going to try having another go down the inside, but isn't quite close enough to not go for the move on the Ferrari and does it into the pits. I'm not sure if he had wing damage.
Yellow's in sector 1. That's a Ferrari round again. I think Infamella's out, or not out of the race, but in the wall once again. And he's going to hit the wall and get more damage, and no safety car called just yet, but he has been able to get back going again, then back to the front, and now through the final, significant corner on the track. It's now a flat out blast to the line. DRS will be open for Rick Holt. It won't be open for Absolute 11, but Absolute's got double the ERS of Rick Holt. Again, it's going to be a bad angle to watch it from. Let's watch from Absolute 11's angle as his teammate now goes down the inside in towards turn 1. Nothing that Absolute 11 can do about that until we get to the second DRS zone, where the car behind Absolute 11 will have DRS in towards the next braking zone of turn 4. It's just switch back maneuvers for these two drivers. Positions changing all the time. Once again they change as Absolute goes around the outside on his teammate.
Meanwhile, Sabah the Mister getting past Ace to Sabah into turn 1, but Ace to Sabah will try and fight back into turn 4. Looks for the inside, but doesn't decide to send one just yet on the Ferrari. But yeah, the front two having a really good clean battle up front. Absolute 11 on the softs, not unable to really extend his gap as he would have wanted, but Rick Holt still finding pace on the mediums.
And it's going to take a decisive move here from one of these drivers to decide this battle. A move that the other driver won't be able to come back from and then challenge them back down the next DRS straight. Because at the moment they're just swapping positions every time they get to the main straight, because there's nothing that the other driver can do about a DRS advantage. Here comes Rick Holt once again. I'm going to go wheel to wheel into turn 1, nice and clean between the two drivers. If Miller has left the session, yellow's in sector 2, that will be because that car is getting out of the way and off the track, but Rick Holt then goes back into the race. But watch this now, Natty. Absolute's going to have a DRS now down the back straight, and he's going to open the DRS once again. He's challenging Rick Holt. Rick Holt squeezes into the inside. It's really going to take a decisive move, but Rick Holt's going to try and keep it around the outside, but they make contact. Rick Holt's still there. They're going to go wheel to wheel through turn 5, but has to back out of it before we head in towards turn 6 and 7.
And Ace to Sabo as well for 6th and 7th place. Ace to Sabo tried to go down the inside. Sabo tried to hang around the outside, but unable to.
Can Rick Holt go for a move here into the hairpin? He needs something that Absolute 11 won't be able to recover from and come back at him into the next DRS zone, but Absolute equally can't seem to get away with those fresher soft tyres and build the gap that he needs to win this race. They're dropped RC8 now by about 3.1 seconds here, but I think Rick Holt's going to be able to come back at Absolute 11, but once this DRS train stops of sort, as I think Natty, have we lost you? I believe we have lost the next Natty G, unfortunately, so I will be doing my best to invite him back once this battle calms down a bit, which it doesn't seem to be doing, because here comes Rick Holt once again on the back of Absolute. He's pushing him through turn 3. There's a little bit of contact, and here comes Absolute then. Also, Rick Holt round the outside of Absolute 11 before we even get to the braking zone for the next corner. And let me just invite Natty back, because I know he's trying to get his Wi-Fi back going again. Sorry about this, everybody. Alright, it's done, and we are back then. So Absolute 11 still ahead. So Rick Holt's still ahead of Absolute 11 now, but we just keep having this swap and change with 4 laps to go here in the Brazilian Grand Prix, and Absolute 11 should be able to get back past his teammate then in towards turn 1. It's right on board with him for this maneuver. Oh, he pushes him onto the green AstroTurf, and both of these drivers are getting a bit restless now. They don't want to keep having these battles and keep going wheel to wheel, because they're just losing time and losing positions to each other. We might see things get a little bit frosty between the two Red Bull teammates. Don't forget, Rick Holt is a replacement in this race for Jutsi Kev, so Jutsi really needs his extra points in the championship. Here comes Rick Holt looking to the inside, doesn't go for a move on this occasion, and that could be crucial in the final decider of this battle then. 4 laps to go, including this one here in Brazil. Currently our closest battle out on track is for the lead. They probably will say multi-21 needs to happen. Yeah, I'm not too sure who the number 1 driver is in this scenario, because Rick Holt is really proving himself to be a big threat to Absolute 11 at the moment in the race. It's now through turn 11 up towards Junsao. Down into 3rd gear, short shift through the gears, once again up the hill, 5/10 of a second, but Rick Holt gets a bit of a squirm on, but he's actually gained time on the Absolute. That slipstream is really, really powerful, but he needs to save more of that ERS here, otherwise he won't be able to overtake Absolute. Nope, Scratch Jack's going to go for a look. He's going to look for the move into turn 1, gets down the inside on his teammate, and gets himself back up into the lead of the race, but now Absolute 11 will surely be able to just come straight back at him down the back straight. DRS open for the Red Bull. Can he make a move here? Rick Holt has got no usable energy to defend with, and Absolute 11 has to stay behind his teammate, and has gone wide as well. Let's try and catch a battle between Sabo the Mister and Ace to Sabo. Sabo getting past Sabo. That's a weird thing to say, but slows down to let the other car pass, maybe thinking that it wasn't exactly a fair maneuver then. But with 3 laps left to go, including this one, I don't know how to call this. It could go either way here. Unfortunately, we've lost our co-commentator, next Natty G, to some internet problems, if you're wondering where he is. But this has been a thrilling race. It's going to come down to a thrilling decider then for whoever wins this. But I think whichever way it happens at the moment, Absolute 11 does still win the championship. The gap is 3/10 of a second now between our top 2, so head up towards the line once again. DRS will be open for Absolute Absolutely, it will be shut for Rick Holt. That will give him an extra 10 mile an hour boost or something in that range. Going to come down towards turn one once again, and absolutely gets past Rick Holt and into the lead of the race with 2 laps remaining. And here we go then. This is where that decisive move needs to be made by one of these drivers, as Rick Holt's looking to the outside already, and a switch back to the inside. DRS open. Let's run off board with Absolute now down towards turn 4. Rick Holt gets to move on the inside and gets himself back up into the lead of the race, but goes wide, and that's going to give Absolute a chance maybe in towards turn 6 as Absolute's been forced off the track. Here he comes down up the hill in towards turn 6 and 7, in towards turn 8 now. Absolute still on the inside, gets the move done on Rick Holt, and that could be the decisive maneuver in this race, but he needs to have more of a gap so that Rick Holt can't challenge him up the hill. And in towards turn 1, Natty is back, and we're having a thrilling battle here. Both of these drivers have saved up enough VRS, you would say, but Absolute 11 still does have a little bit more, 43% compared to Rick Holt's 25%. Rick Holt on mediums, Absolute 11 on the soft tyres. They're going to blast up the hill for the penultimate time in this race, heading on to the final lap. It's going to be a final lap overtake for whoever wants to win this race. Absolute's going to have to go defensive here, but here comes Rick Holt down the inside in towards turn 1. Could this be the decider in this race? Rick Holt goes into the lead of the race, but locks up into turn 1. Here comes Absolute now through the second DRS zone. Rick Holt surely must have to go defensive. Got yellow set to be that's a Mercedes that's gone off, but here comes Rick Holt now, the DRS open. Now try and go to the inside, no outside. He hasn't got any ERS to play with. Rick Holt keeps the position then, and Absolute goes wide and picks up a 3-second time penalty. And is that the decisive blow? He needs Rick Holt now to make a mistake in the final 2 corners of this race to get back into the lead that he's fought so hard to get, Natty, and this could really go down to the wire here if Rick Holt picks up another penalty.
Yeah, I've just had a quick look at the penalties. Rick Holt has got 3 warnings somehow without a penalty, so if he does go wide at the final corner, or the penultimate corner, then he will pick up a penalty. But yeah, it's a shame I missed the laps with Rick Holt and Absolute battling.
It does look like that's going to be a win for Rick Holt. He's going to blast up the hill for the final time in this race, and what a race it has been. It's going to be Rick Holt then. He's going to lead home a Red Bull 1-2. So Rick Holt wins, but Absolute's going to take the championship here in the Freshman League, and what a drive it was from the German. RCA, a valiant effort, but can't come home in any better than third. Tonio is in fourth. Tiger Assassin with a great recovery to 5th position. Ace to Sabo is going to bring it home for a double points finish for the Alfa Romeo team in 6th. Savannah Mister in 7th, goes to 6th though on penalties. Alex going to Mack as well, going to score some crucial points for Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. He's going to be maybe in 7th position on penalties, and it does stay in 8th. Rosie going around the outside of Infamela, who's had a torrid race this time, but Vincher and Tunturi trying to have a bit of a drag race to the line there for the final point paying position, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Tunturi to try and get past the Renault, and he will finish in P11 unless there's any penalties that we don't know about. There were some penalties we didn't know about because the Weaver Robert Codfather's in the points. And where's... Oh no, he isn't, because Daz has just knocked him back out of the points. That's cruel out there for Robert. He really came out of nowhere. I thought we got points there for a second.
That's overall an incredible race. Sabo the Mister gets the in-game driver of the day, but congratulations to Absolute 11 on his Freshman League Championship.
So the 1 championship is wrapped up this week, still got 3 more to go then. So very well deserved. Absolute 11 has been incredible this season, has picked up more wins than any other driver in the Freshman League by some margin, has picked up more poles and more podiums than anyone else in the Freshman League, and that is one hell of a season and one hell of a way to cap off his championship campaign. But Rick Holt, don't forget, definitely a star of the future, winning this race, beating out your Freshman League champion, and let's see what he can do on Thursday when he's replacing someone in the Super League, I believe. But that was a great battle. It's been a great season, but we've still got 1 race left to go, and it's for nothing but pride now. In Abu Dhabi, we're going to be back with you once again, but to take you through our final finishing positions, it's Rick Holt who takes the win, Absolute 11 in 2nd, RC8 3rd, Tonio is 4th, Tiger in 5th, Sabo the Mister in 6th, Ace Sabo in 7th, Alex Mack in 8th, Brizzy in 9th, and Daza will rounding out your points finishes today. Robert Codfather in 11th, Tunturi in 12th, Vincher in 13th, GSY Bates in 14th, Triple O in 15th, Hampton in 16th, and Infamela 17th, and then Our Back of Breath and Victor are only two retirees from that race in 18th and 19th position. It's been a long time waiting for that one, Natty. Currently nearly 10:30 UK time, so big thank you to everyone who is still stuck with us and watched the race in its entirety, and I hope that we've rewarded you with quite a decent race, a great battle for the lead. The power of Valal strikes once again. Just 8 seconds now until we get timed out of the lobby, but what a race that was, and we seem to be having good race after good race in the Freshman League, and that's always great stuff to see.
Yeah, the two Red Bulls at the end putting on an insane performance on the last few laps. It would have been amazing if RC8 was able to keep up with those guys and battle for the championship, but nevertheless a really good race in Brazil once we got it going eventually.
And hopefully all of the other races are as crazy and as wild as that one, although hopefully they will also all happen on time. I will have to wait for an hour, but yeah, Brazil seems to be cursed in this game when it comes to online lobbies, same as Singapore. But yeah, that's gonna cap us off here, guys. I'm not gonna waste anyone's time with the with the outros. I'm sure you'll want to be getting to bed or doing other things. I mean, it's 10:30 now, so yeah. I mean, nothing more to say. It was a great race. Big congratulations to Absolute for wrapping up the title. Well done to everyone who challenged him, and indeed well done to all of the Freshman League drivers for this season. We still got one more to go though next week in Abu Dhabi, and we will see you then, guys, and we'll be capping off another season here in the Freshman League. But thank you everybody who stuck with us for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next week.